Yes. Yes. I'm gonna do that. Okay, that's good. There we go.
Just waiting for it to come up live.
Oh, okay.
So we're ready. What's that noise?
That was me. I just touching my phone.
Getting an earth loop.
Yep. Turns out that, yeah, I'm on Earth.
You turned the sound down on your phone?
I have. Have we come up live yet? No, I haven't got it here.
So you've hit record and
Yeah, stop streaming, stop recording. Yep. Just waiting for you to get it at your end.
page.
So here the PlayStation 5, some of the details for the release of the PlayStation 5 was released about 4 days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going with solid hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go with their SSDs and
Because they've come down, unbelievable how much they've come down in price.
yeah. Nothing else but the button on this iPhone is doing it. Is it still not loaded?
Can't see it.
All right. Well,
but they've changed their page and everything in Facebook, but they've changed stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I still get a notification, and I haven't got anything.
Here we go. Oh no, that's 281, 280, 279. No. Stop it and start it again.
Yep.
Oh no, I know why. I know why. Nah.
Oh, there we go. Well, that'd help.
Go live.
That's
See,
it.
just testing everybody.
That's right.
Fetching live stream. $282.
There we go. 282. Four seconds ago, we went live.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. That's us right there. I'm just going to flick it over to you now. There you go.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 282 Aussie Mac Zone. And I know we're a bit early, but that's because it's a public holiday and we've got things to do. So thanks for tuning in early for those that are lucky enough to catch us live, and no one else will notice any difference. So happy Easter to everybody. We are brought to you by IT Help to You and Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting. Zarn, how are you?
Fantastic, Michael. Happy Easter, everybody.
Excellent.
Yes, our early show, because we like the holidays as much as everybody else.
That's right. Now we've got some Aussie Apple ramblings this week. Apple and Qualcomm settle licensing dispute amid trials opening arguments. So CNET tells us consumers are the biggest winners, with Apple's iPhone likely to get 5G sooner than expected. Late Tuesday, Apple's supplier Intel said it's exiting the 5G smartphone modem business now that it lost its biggest customer. Apple and Qualcomm have settled their patent licensing battle, ending a 2-year dispute the day after their trial kicked off in San Diego. The two sides announced the surprise agreement through a joint press release Tuesday. At the same time, lawyers were presenting their opening arguments in a courthouse in Southern California. Apple and its contract manufacturers had given their statements, and Qualcomm's head lawyer had nearly finished his remarks when the courtroom buzzed with the unexpected news. So wouldn't that give you the crap? You've been working non-stop for 2 years on one project, and while you're talking about it,
they just decided it's okay. Oh, don't worry about it. We can do this without you. It's fine.
Yeah.
We've sorted it out.
In the background. That's right. So the CEOs of both companies, Apple's Tim Cook and Qualcomm's Steve Mollenkopf, were expected to testify. As recently as January, Cook said the iPhone maker wasn't in talks with Qualcomm. The settlement marks a big win for Qualcomm, which could have been forced to change its entire business model had it lost to Apple.
Oh, wow.
The agreement is also a victory for consumers who will once again have access to the fast Qualcomm modems in their iPhones. That likely includes Qualcomm's 5G modems as soon as 2020.
Excellent.
So yes, there we go.
So this is why, too, like this is an example of why parents shouldn't get involved in children's fights. Because while the parents are over here like, all right, we've got to sort this out. The kids have already made up. It's fine.
Yes. Good analogy.
Excellent.
Now, spy on your smart home with this open source research tool. So from TechCrunch, care of Apple News, researchers at Princeton University have built a web app that lets you and them spy on your smart home devices to see what they're up to. The open source tool, called IoT Inspector, is available for download. Currently, it's Mac OS only, with a wait list for Windows and Linux. Now, in a blog about the effort, the researchers write that their aim is to offer a simple tool for consumers to analyze the network traffic of their internet-connected gizmos. The basic idea is to help people see whether devices such as smart speakers or Wi-Fi-enabled robot vacuum cleaners are sharing their data with third parties, or indeed how much snitching their gadgets are actually doing. Testing the IoT Inspector tool in their lab, the researchers say they found a Chromecast device constantly contacting Google servers even when not in active use, or a Genie smart bulb was also found to be constantly communicating with the cloud, sending and receiving traffic via a URL that's operated by a Chinese-based company with a platform which controls IoT devices. There are other ways to track devices like this, such as setting up a wireless hotspot to sniff IoT traffic using a packet analyzer like Wireshark, but the level of technical expertise required makes them difficult for plenty of consumers. Whereas the researchers say their web app doesn't require any special hardware or complicated setup, so it sounds easier than trying to go packet sniffing on your devices yourself. Now, Gizmodo, which got an early look at the tool, describes it as incredibly easy to install and use. One wrinkle, the web app doesn't work with Safari, requiring either Firefox or Google Chrome, or a Chromium-based browser to work.
That sucks.
But you can still use Chrome. But we'll talk. There's another thing about Chrome a bit further on. But the main caveat is that the team at Princeton want to use the gathered data to feed IoT research. So users of the tool will be contributing efforts to study their home devices. Now, we've got the story on one link in the show notes and a link to the software in a link in the show notes as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, if this bit of, I know it's not much, but everything adds up in your, and when you don't have unlimited downloads or uploads, all of that all adds up. So if you've got 100 devices going bing, 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 bing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just nice to know what's actually happening.
Yep.
Also, if you're with all the hassle that Airbnb and places have had with spy cameras, you could sniff out and see whether there's any spy cameras giving information out that you're not aware of. That's another use for it.
Yeah, well, that'd be a good use, I think. Like that sort of stuff. I know there's been a lot of Airbnb stuff, like some weirdos watching you while you sleep and stuff.
Yeah. Now here's an interesting one. Apple holds we've got a picture of this one too, Zarn. Apple holds environment-focused event at Apple Park with Jaden, Will, and Jada Smith.
Yep.
9 to 5 Mac reports Apple held an event at its Apple Park headquarters today with Will Smith, Jaden Smith, and Jada Pinkett Smith. The conversation was moderated by Apple's VP of Environment, Policy and Social Initiatives. Tim Cook shared an image of the event on Twitter saying that everyone deserves access to quality water. Jaden Smith founded Just Water, an organisation focused on bringing clean water to areas in need, such as Flint, Michigan.
And so he's also just done a huge campaign with Woolworths promoting the water.
Yeah.
Here in Australia.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the photo's hilarious that we've got here.
Just Water is touted as being ethically sourced and comes in 100% paper-based bottle.
Yep.
Today's event comes following a string of announcements from Apple regarding its environmental efforts ahead of Earth Day last week.
Yep.
Apple announced that it had doubled the number of suppliers committed to running production on 100% renewable energy.
Yep.
Also,
it's not hard to do now.
No.
We pay our electricity bills, and we have decided to go with the company that only uses renewable energy.
Yeah.
It all comes from the same lines, everything like that. It's just the company we choose to get our power from.
Yeah.
They get their power from 100% renewable energy.
Yeah. And it comes and it just helps investment in the future too.
Yep.
Now the company announced it had quadrupled its iPhone recycling program, as well as released its environmental responsibility report. Apple has held several events at Apple Park recently. Last month, for instance, Octavia Spencer and Nichelle Tramble-Spellman joined Lisa Jackson for a conversation about equality, creativity, and the power within. The conversations are generally open to Apple employees, which is good. Good on them.
Excellent. So if anyone wanted to know, I use Energy Local, it's called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're a renewable-based company. So if you're looking for something like that, they're great. They're really competitive.
Excellent.
Their prices are fantastic, to be honest. And so this isn't like a paid plug. I just actually like the company. I like what they're doing. I'm not into big companies that are fracking and doing all that sort of stuff. So Energy Local, if you're interested, that's who I use.
Excellent. Thank you.
No worries.
Reminder this week, we are brought to you by IT Help to You. You need Mac computer work done or Mac PC communication set up? Give us a call. I'm sure we can help and arrange people to do it.
That's right.
Now, we talked about Facebook uploading all your contacts without your permission.
Yep.
Now, we've got a story on how to delete the contacts that Facebook uploaded without your permission. Now, the story, thanks to Lifehacker, Facebook's public image has taken a beating lately, and things just keep getting worse for the social media platform. According to a recent report from Business Insider India, Facebook has been uploading info from its users' email contacts since 2016. Facebook did this unintentionally and without warning when users created their accounts for the first time or when using their email accounts for login information. This happened for over 1.5 million users, according to Business Insider's report. Facebook says it will contact the affected users and promised to delete their contact info soon, and has disabled email login confirmations in the meantime. Now, while it is good to hear Facebook will correct this soon, it doesn't necessarily help the company face their recent string of serious security blunders. Luckily, users don't have to wait around for the company to take action. We'll show you how to take measures on your own hands and delete any contact info Facebook has inadvertently mined from your email and phone contacts.
G'day, Harley.
Harley, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Now, how to delete the contact information uploaded to Facebook. The first step here is preventative. Do not let any Facebook apps and others, when you're checking it, access your email or your phone contacts when prompted if you're installing them for the first time, whether it be a regular Facebook app, Facebook Lite, Messenger, or Messenger Lite. Now, contact syncing is a built-in feature of these apps, but given how poorly Facebook seems to be handling this type of data, it's probably wise to keep them out for now. However, as Business Insider's piece points out, the accidental data scraping happened without users being warned while creating their accounts. And when confirming...
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah?
It's not accidental. It's happened way too much.
You'd think.
Come on.
Now, that means that even if you previously denied these app permissions or don't use Facebook apps in the first place, your data may have been impacted through your email anyway. Here's how to delete your email and phone contact information via facebook.com and how to disable contact syncing in all Facebook and Messenger apps. Now, instructions are in a link on our page, on the show notes. The link is for Android and iOS devices, and it's also in our Aussie Mac Zone in Apple News. There's also a link in there explaining how to do it.
Everyone that watches
Android and iOS devices.
Everyone that watches, listens, whatever, should check. Anyway, I know we're live on Facebook right now, but you still should check.
Yep,
it's important. So,
all right, now tell us about gaming, Zarn.
Okay, I like it. It's fun to do. I have 3 more reviews.
Yeah.
Right, bear with me. I didn't say I had them ready. I just said I had them.
That's my man. Spent 4 hours getting his face right. That's and right. His hair right.
I forgot we had an early podcast today and I didn't do anything. So I'm just digging through now. Okay, so we've got just out of the, because I'm just doing the 12 that we first started with for now.
Yep.
And I've been doing 3 of them for the last couple of weeks. So this one I haven't checked out, this sort of done much reading on this one yet. It's Hot Lava, but it's pretty, the name says it all, and this has been available on Android and iOS devices before, similar games to this. So it's you need to jump from spot to spot to keep out of the lava. Everything gets quicker, and similar to sort of Frogger and that, but with better graphics.
Yeah.
We all know and love this type of game. So if it's anything like any of the others, if you're a gamer like me, you've played, you will spend hours doing it and just trying to beat your score one after the other. It's like, the Flappy Bird sensation.
Yeah.
You even though that game is so simple, it doesn't matter. As soon as you pick it up, you're addicted and you need to keep playing. It's one of those games. It's great. My second game is, if I can find it, is Pathless, and this is it's a stalker game. It's so you're a hunter, and you've got an eagle, so you got 2 lines of sight. I don't know why I'm using my hands everywhere. You have 2 lines of sight, so through the hunter, and the bow, because you're using a bow, and you can upgrade all this stuff as you go along. Think about what was the game I'm trying to think of? No, can't think of it. Damn it. But it's one of those hunter games where you're going through, you're capturing animals, either for food, you're using wood, that sort of stuff. It's quick as well. You can also, mimic shadows, so while you're down hunting and everything like that. But I think the best thing is you can stalk, like using an eagle to stalk. So you're up high and you can find where your prey is and then go in and hunt it like that. So that's really cool. I like that.
Yes.
And where else have we got? Where Cards Fall. Where Cards Fall is a puzzle game. I like a puzzle game. And so think about card games, puzzle games, that sort of stuff. So card games like Hearthstone and stuff like that are fantastic. Battling against other people with your cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is similar. It's not card game, it's puzzle though. So you got to figure out the puzzle to get through each level and that sort of stuff. There's no guns or anything like that. It's not a violent as such. So yeah, I think that'll be a good fun game to play as well.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
And so they're the 3 games this week.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Can't wait till I actually get this up and running.
I know. I want to see a bigger list. I'm really interested in what's coming out. I want to see what they're offering, especially in the racing genre.
Yeah.
Because I'm over all the racing games I've got. I've played all my Horizons and I've played all Forzas and.
What about Forza when it's on the iPad?
Well, I haven't played that yet.
No.
I want to check that out.
It's not quite out yet, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Yes, it will be, and I'm looking forward to that because it's so Forza. It's a completely other game. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Forza Street. I'm hoping it's going to be like what were the PlayStation games that I used to like so much. I can't think of their names now because I'm old and a blank. But yeah, you build the motor, you build the suspension. It's basically you buy a car, build it from the ground up, and go racing. The better your car is, the more points you get. You also get points for paint and and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, Forza Street's similar to that. It's I can't. I wish I could remember the name of the games I was thinking of, but I can't.
What were the ones like? The ones for that movie,
Fast and the Furious and stuff.
Similar
to that. But hang on a second. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna just check my source. Hey Curtis, what were the car games? We used to do cars up and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Need for Speed.
Hey, isn't it good when you got a live audience?
That's right. I knew someone could help me, a fellow gamer. So yeah, Need for Speed was like, and I love those games, even though I couldn't remember the bloody name of them. I still have 2 of the games for the old PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they were like that. So I'm hoping that's what this is going to be. If it's a platform like that, then it'll be great because I already like Forza. I already like what you can do with the engines and the paint. You can do all that there with the Horizons. So and Forzas. But so hopefully it's like that, and you get the race on the street as such. Yeah. But yeah. Cool. All right, back to you, Michael.
As long as we don't do it for real.
That's right. We have places for that, and they're lots of fun. Especially in Western Sydney, we have a great place to do that, and it's lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, we've got a couple of places now to do that.
Yes,
because we've got, besides Eastern Creek, we've got the Luddenham motor racing track, and
yep, that's right.
So that's open to cars now as well as it used to be a go-kart track, but now they've lengthened it and widened it, and it's open to cars now. So just another exciting little track.
Yeah, excellent. I didn't know that actually. I didn't. Yeah. I knew there was a go-kart track and stuff out there, and I know they do. They sometimes do the drift karting out there. Yeah. Which I'm dying to do. So yeah.
All right. So Samsung just proved why Apple's always late to the game. Now ZNet reports ZDNet reports, several Samsung Galaxy Fold review devices seem to have badly malfunctioned. And what's the actual benefit of being first if you can't be good? Apple had just come out with an iPhone 10, so its biggest rival had to snort. It released an ad that boasted how Samsung had allegedly been first in just about every phone development over the previous 10 years. Apple was apparently a sad retrograde mimic. Its customers were pathetic, mindless creatures who would never get the girl. Yet, here we are with Samsung facing a potential debacle. Screens on the Galaxy Fold, which is the new folding phones, that were sent to reviewers appear to be more brittle than many NBA players' egos.
That's an excellent example.
There's even a thin layer of protective film that can be peeled off and has been. For reasons that aren't entirely clear, the Korean handset maker says it's going ahead with the launch of the Fold on April 26th, even though they're not reliable.
They're not.
Now, a Samsung spokesman made it seem like a minor snafu rather than an unfolding disaster. Gee, she's got the puns going. The unfolding disaster. A limited number of early Galaxy Fold samples were provided to media for review. Now, you'd think they'd be the best ones, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
We have received a few reports regarding the main display on the samples provided. We will thoroughly inspect these units in person to determine the causes of the matter. Now, one might understand it if it was just one phone, but when several reviewers experience different issues, isn't this a reason to pause? No, we'll just give it to customers who want the best and get nothing. But hang it.
Have you read the reviews and seen the reviews?
Yeah, well, the ones that are now more than a couple of weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phones, there's several different problems. This phone is a dud. Like, it's a good idea. Like, in theory, it's fantastic. I actually really like the idea.
Yeah.
But it's just not working yet. So why release it? Why not do the best you can? This could be a game changer if they would take the time
to make it right.
That's right.
No, they don't have to. They make it. Then Apple orders some folding screens, their next model, and they get to pay. That's where they get the money back. They're making millions and millions of a particular screen for them. But anyway, and I'm quite happy for Apple never to be first.
Yeah, me too. They don't have to be first; they just have to be good.
That's right. That's right.
They are. I don't have any more. Like, I got rid of my laptop that was a Windows laptop because of privacy issues with Google. After the new Apple came out with all the new apps and everything like that, and when I was watching that and the privacy, they were talking so much about privacy.
Yeah,
I was just like, why would you not go with these guys? This is where it's at.
Yeah.
Where Google are deciding to trying to steal your data and your information. Apple are like, we don't want it.
Well, Google use it. They won't.
Sorry, I shouldn't say steal. I apologise.
At least Google tell you up front what they're doing.
Yes. And so I apologise to Google. You are not stealing our information. Please don't sue me. But yeah, they're saying, we're going to use this data. And Apple are saying, we don't want it. We don't care.
Now, here's a challenge. Talking of Google, iPhone users under attack as iOS Chrome security sandbox fails. Now, for people who use Chrome on their iOS devices, a threat known as eGobbler is taking advantage of a vulnerability in the Chrome web browser for iOS to target iPhone users with an exploit that serves up malicious advertising. Now, according to researchers, a security vendor, Confiant, the malvertising campaign has served up more than 500 million malicious ads since it started 10 days ago. What is malvertising? As in malicious advertising? Malvertising, for short, is where seemingly legitimate ads are displayed, which actually contain underlying codes that redirect users to fraudulent or malicious content. Now, in the case of eGobbler campaign targeting iOS users, the threat actor has infected legitimate advertising servers, which are then used to deliver adverts that redirect the user to a pop-up competition scam window. The payload for the attacker is twofold, as they earn more money from the ads being displayed, as well as using the landing pages to distribute malware or collect user data. eGobbler is the name that has been given to the threat actor, though thought to be a well-organized criminal group, thanks to the huge volume of hits that the malicious advertising campaign it runs achieve. The group has been active for some time, and the campaigns it runs are usually only stay up for a couple of days and then go quiet before the next wave begins. Now, this pattern of activity has been noted by researchers investigating the ongoing malvertising campaign. Chrome for iOS, which runs on WebKit rather than using the Chromium engine, incorporates what is known as sandboxing that prevents advertising injection code from interacting with other components in a way that might be a security threat. In particular, the Chrome sandbox should prevent malicious adverts from being able to hijack the browser session and launch pop-up window without any user interaction, or to redirect the user to a landing page they are not expecting. Confiant researchers have yet to reveal the precise mechanism by which eGobbler has bypassed Chrome for iOS sandboxing in order to give Google time to issue a patch, but say that the fact that this exploit is able to bypass that need for user interaction should be impossible according to the same origin policy as it pertains in cross-origin iframes. Furthermore, this completely circumvents the browser's anti-redirect functionality, as the attacker no longer needs to even spawn a redirect in order to hijack the user session. Now, the security researcher who uncovered the vulnerability, Elias Stein, tweets that this is technically a Chrome pop-up blocker bypass, but in a way it's a sandbox bypass, because it hijacks the session with a pop-up instead of a redirection.
Okay.
So please be aware. This
is serious too, but whoever named that criminal organization needs to be fired, by the way. That sounds like a Paw Patrol criminal. eGobbler. Jesus Christ.
Now,
yep,
we are brought to you by
Aussie
Tech Heads Podcasting. So, if you want to set up a podcast.
That's where you come to us.
That's right. Give Glenn a call, because lots of things are happening in the podcast world at the moment. We're expecting Apple to increase podcasting availability and access and information and statistics. The ABC in Australia give money to people to create podcasts.
They do.
Who else? A couple of the streaming services overseas are investing money in podcasting to get people to do content exclusively, like the ABC do. But exclusively as in you can still get it, but it's just, it might be a week or so later.
Yep.
Yeah, so, Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting. Now, have you got any more things you want to talk about, Zarn?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, just checking. Yeah,
talked about the extra game and joked about eGobbler. Sorry, that's a terrible name. Like, if these guys are literally trying to do what they're trying to do, it's not the right name. I'm not saying I can probably come up with a better one, because I may not be able to, but yeah. Well, other than that, I've got nothing, Michael.
That's cool. So the Shortcuts app on iOS. Now, I've been having an awesome time over the long weekend getting the Shortcuts app to control iTunes on our Mac Mini.
Oh, awesome.
So now, when we go, hey, SIRI, we can get it to play or pause or play the next track or play the previous track or delete the current track in iTunes. And we can do it both from my wife's phone or my iPhone.
Excellent.
Right? And you just, also when we say, because now we're leaving while it's still a little bit dark in the morning. So when we come downstairs, we say good morning. That turns the lights and things on.
Do you have to say her name? Do you say, hey?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
yeah.
you. Good morning.
That's right. And it turns the lights on, starts the music playing, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
When we say, hey, you, goodbye, it turns the lights off and pauses the music.
Fantastic.
Now, also, I've made another shortcut that starts the screensaver on the screen, which is a collection of family photos, old and new. And everybody loves just, even customers that come and talk to me while I'm here, love watching the pictures.
Yeah. Even I stop and watch them, and I've seen them 100 times. They're still cool.
Yeah. I put another 80 in there the other day.
Oh, awesome.
So, yep. Now, so thanks to Doug and crew from Doug's Scripts. I'll have a link in the show notes, of course, and others from around the web for helping me understand how to do that. So, yeah, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. I created an Apple script for the Mac, and then I run the Apple script from the phone. So, yeah, but still cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I do have one little thing.
Yeah.
Hang on one moment, sorry, and I'll find it. Where is it? There it is. I'd like to say thank you to Ratha's Place. It's a little cafe in St Mary's.
Yeah.
We went there for breakfast. The food was fantastic. The service was great. And they're a non-for-profit organisation helping build schools in, let me think, I think it's Vietnam. But they also give people with disabilities paid work on full wages, instead of a lot of the places, only paying them X amount of money instead of giving them proper award wages. These guys do full award wages, and their staff's fantastic, and so they're doing a great job.
Excellent.
I really liked it, so I thought, if you're in the Western Sydney area and you want a great cup of coffee or something to eat, Ratha's Place is on Queen Street in St Mary's.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And now, lastly, with last week's announcement of Optus eSIM support for iPhone, I contacted Telstra and Vodafone again.
Yep.
Telstra, I got the answer. I'll check and get back to you. And Vodafone, I haven't had a reply from yet.
Okay.
But
Optus have it.
Optus have it, yes. Yep. So, you can just go in. If you're on a postpaid, you just get the QR code to scan, and away you go. It's not that hard.
Fantastic.
I did find out that there are some overseas companies that offer eSIM support for Australia, but therefore you pay, how you pay more when you're using overseas services.
Yes.
You're actually paying more because you're using, quote, an overseas service, even though you're in Australia. But that's how they got eSIM working earlier.
Okay, well, that's cheeky, but well done to them.
Yeah, but so I'm wrapped for Optus, and I'm hoping Telstra and Vodafone will come back with a reply so we can keep you all in the loop.
Great.
So that's what I've got. What else we got? Don't forget our show promotion. Show notes link each week on show upload. The link being Aussie-Mac-Zone-episode-282 for this week. And there you'll see the last 5 week shows and notes. Search for us on Spotify. Search for us on Aussie Mac Zone in Apple News and like us. There's
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. What was there was one other thing I missed that I wanted to talk about. Got that one. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Something I'm interested in that Mashable was talked about this week, Apple could launch its own version of Tile to help you find lost items. So Tiles, which are little Bluetooth tracking devices,
Yeah.
And they use crowd tracking. So if you're in Parramatta or you lose something in Parramatta, for example,
Yeah.
and it's sitting there in a corner of the stairs at Westfield,
Yeah.
so as soon as someone walks past it and it actually gets a little signal,
It'll beep.
it'll beep. It'll tell the world.
It's there.
It'll tell you where it is. All right.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The hassle with tiles up until just now has been that you had to replace them. You couldn't just replace the battery, but the newest ones have replaceable batteries, which is good. So if you do go looking for a tile at JB or whatever, make sure you get the latest ones with the replaceable batteries.
Yes. I could have really used one of those yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah. But Apple could be releasing its own. So hopefully that's something else we'll see, say, in a couple of weeks at the Worldwide Developers Conference.
Excellent.
But yeah, so that's just another thing that's on the way. There was also a new video from Apple. I just don't know why I haven't got that. Anyway, we'll catch up with that one. So,
yep.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And in particular, our supporters,
our sponsors,
and you, our listeners.
Excellent. And remember, Apple a day keeps Androids away. See you guys.